Yo, Birds fans! Listen up because the NovaCare complex is buzzing with some heavy smoke right now that could redefine our entire roster before kickoff. We're talking about a franchise cornerstone's future hanging in the balance, while Howie Roseman potentially eyes two massive defensive monsters to fix that pass rush that let us down last year. This is the kind of off-season chaos that separates the contenders from the pretenders in the NFC East. Subscribe right now to stay updated on every single Birds move because things are moving fast. A.J. Brown is the absolute center of gravity for the Philadelphia Eagles right now as rumors regarding his long-term future continue to swirl around the NovaCare complex like a South Philly snowstorm. Adam Schefter, the ultimate insider, has just dropped a significant update that suggests Howie Roseman and the front office are adopting a very strategic and cautious posture when it comes to their star wideout. While the national media wants to paint a picture of chaos and a potential exit, Schefter is signaling that the organization is actually leaning into hope, desperately wanting to keep this elite talent in midnight green for the foreseeable future. We all know how vital this kid is to Jalen Hurts and the overall success of this explosive offense. He's more than just a deep threat. He's the physical presence that forces defenses to second-guess every single coverage scheme they try to throw at us. The caution coming from the front office stems from a mix of salary cap gymnastics and the need to ensure the locker room chemistry is rock solid after that disappointing finish last season. Inside the building, there is a clear understanding that you don't just find another athlete with his catch radius and playmaking ability on the street. The Eagles are playing it smart, keeping their cards close to the chest, but making it very clear to those in the know that they value him as a cornerstone of this franchise's Super Bowl window. It's a delicate balancing act because the fan base is on edge, waiting for any sign of a deal or a definitive statement. But for now, the internal vibe is one of optimistic patience. They are willing to ride out the noise because the reward, a happy and productive superstar, is what keeps this team at the top of the NFC East. But don't think for a second that Howie is only focused on the offense, because he is simultaneously working on some defensive moves that could absolutely shock the league. And that is where things get really interesting for the Birds, especially when we start looking at the monster names being linked to our defensive line as we head into this critical offseason phase. If you want to see A.J. Brown staying in Philly for the rest of his career, smash that like button right now. And tell me in the comments, do you trust Howie Roseman to make the right move here? Max Crosby is the name that has every single person in Philadelphia glued to their phones as rumors of a potential blockbuster trade begin to reach a fever pitch this week. We have all seen the decline in our pass rush productivity, and the experts are now loudly suggesting that the Philadelphia Eagles might be the primary aggressors in a hunt for this defensive monster. This isn't just some low-level speculation. We are talking about TV analysts and league insiders who believe that Howie Roseman is ready to back up the truck and invest massive draft capital to bring this powerhouse to the link. The idea of this kid donning the midnight green is enough to make any offensive coordinator in the league have nightmares. He is the definition of a high motor, relentless pass rusher who can single-handedly wreck a game plan. The rumors suggest that Philly is eyeing him as the missing piece to a defensive line that desperately needs to rediscover its identity as the most feared unit in football. Analysts are urging the team to be bold, arguing that a couple of first-round picks are a small price to pay for a perennial All-Pro who is still in his prime. This is the kind of aggressive move that the Eagles are known for when they smell a championship opportunity. The city is already erupting at the mere thought of him lining up next to our young interior studs. Inside the building, there's a sense that the pass rush must be fixed at all costs if we want to avoid another late-season collapse like we saw last year. Roseman knows that the window with this current core won't stay open forever, and adding a generational talent like this athlete would be the ultimate statement of intent to the rest of the NFL. It would be a total game-changer for Vic Fangio's new scheme, providing that alpha presence off the edge that we've been missing since the glory days. But hold on tight, because there is actually another major target in the mix for the edge position that could be the secret weapon Howie has been waiting for. Yo, would you trade 2 first-rounders for a superstar like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Breaking Birds content. Jonathan Greenard has suddenly emerged as a top-tier target for the Philadelphia Eagles as the front office looks to find a definitive answer for the losses we took in the defensive trenches during free agency. This kid is being linked to the Birds in a major way, with many insiders calling Philly one of the great favorites to secure his services via a trade or a high-stakes signing. The logic here is flawless. We have a massive void at the edge position, and this prospect has shown the elite quickness and hand technique to be a double-digit sack artist in the right system. The Eagles aren't just looking for bodies. They are looking for a specific type of disruptive athlete who can fit into the new defensive philosophy being installed this offseason. After losing key pieces that were the backbone of our defense for years, the pressure is on Howie Roseman to find a replacement who can produce immediately. This standout has the pedigree and the recent production to suggest he could be the cornerstone of our pass rush for the next several seasons. The chatter around the league is that the Eagles are being very aggressive in their pursuit, recognizing that the market for high-quality edge rushers is moving fast, and they cannot afford to be left behind. Bringing this athlete into the fold would provide a much-needed boost to a unit that struggled to get off the field in critical moments last year. It's all about building that rotation back up to an elite level where we can send wave after wave of pressure at opposing quarterbacks. The fans are keeping a very close eye on this situation because it represents the first real step in rebuilding the Sac City reputation that defines Eagles football. If they can land him, it completely changes the outlook for our defense heading into training camp. But the ripple effect of these moves goes far beyond just one position group, impacting the entire strategy for how we approach the rest of the offseason and the draft. Now, let's get real about what all this means for our birds, because we are at a massive crossroads in the Roseman era. Keeping a star like A.J. Brown is priority number one for offensive continuity, but the obsession with these high-end edge rushers like Max Crosby and Jonathan Greenard tells you everything you need to know about the front office's mindset right now. They know the defense was the Achilles heel that cost us everything in the playoffs. In Philly, we build through the trenches. It's in our DNA. If Howie can actually pull off a blockbuster for a Tier 1 pass rusher while keeping his offensive weapons happy, he's essentially performing a masterclass in roster management. But there's a massive risk here. Investing heavy draft capital and cap space into the defensive line might mean we're spread thin elsewhere. The fans are erupting because we want to see that 2022 dominance again, not the collapse we witnessed in December and January. This strategy of chasing game changers is how dynasties are built in the NFL, but it's also a high-wire act. If the chemistry isn't right, or if the veterans start to feel the pressure of these new arrivals, things could get rocky in the locker room. However, looking at the NFC, the path to the Super Bowl goes through elite quarterbacks, and you don't beat them with okay pass rushers. You beat them with monsters who make them check their mirrors on every drop back. This is the kind of move casual fans don't understand until they see the results on the scoreboard, but it's exactly what wins championships in this league. The internal pressure to succeed is at an all-time high, and every move made this month will be under the microscope of a city that demands nothing less than a Lombardi trophy. At the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles are making it clear that they are not content with just being a good team. They are swinging for the fences to be elite again. Whether it's securing the future of our top wideout or mortgaging the future to bring in a legendary pass rusher, the ambition in this building is palpable. This isn't just another off-season cycle. This is a calculated assault on the rest of the league to prove that the Birds are still the kings of the NFC. The next few weeks are going to be absolutely wild for us fans, and you can bet that Howie is working the phones until they smoke. This could be the most important stretch of moves since the 2017 Super Bowl run. This is not just about filling holes, it's about establishing a culture of dominance. So, what do you think, Birds fans? Should we sell the farm for that all-pro edge rusher, or is keeping our star receiver the only move that matters? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I want to see what the real Philly faithful are feeling. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you bleed green. This is the only place for the realest Eagles news on the web. Go Birds!